What up? Welcome. We're just waiting on Asia now to go live. What's up, guys? B-Girl Candy. Hey, B-Boy. Cascado. Thanks for coming and watching. Just waiting on Asia now. What up, Ty? What's good? I'm just waiting on Asia now to join me, guys. And then we can start this up. What up? Hey, girl. Thanks for joining. Yup, you on time. Thanks for joining in. I'm so excited now. I can't wait to see Asia, y'all. Where's everyone from that's here so far? Should I do this with a filter, y'all? Where Asia at? Taekwon, get on the IM and get Asia up in here. I'm waiting for her now. What up, Katrina? Yeah. It's good to see everybody coming through. Asia! I'm hyped now. What up? Toronto in the house. Asia's coming through now, guys. She's connecting. What up, sis?
What's up, sister?
What's good?
Excuse me as I lubricate the lips, because I know we're going to get to yapping and starting. I think those of us especially that started getting, we're going to get to yapping and jazzing, so
yeah.
I can't be chapped up in this Instagram live,
Girl. Look at you with your do-rag on. You're so gangster.
My hair is not permissible right now, so it's not permissible. Let me give you guys some good background here. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some good lighting. Some good lighting.
Christmas tree.
Okay. You guys got my bathroom. It's the brightest room in my house. So.
Oh yeah, what time is it over there?
It's 7:30, 7:35, something like that.
Oh yeah, already dark.
Yup. It got dark at like 5:30. So.
Oh, I know, girl.
Everybody, we got Asia in the house. Asia.
What's up, everybody? IG Live. It's real. It's happening. This isn't a link. This isn't a podcast. This is IG Live.
And this is Asia.1. Asia.1, what crews you rep?
Yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Just the only crew, MZK, wipe your camera lens.
I did it with mine, girl.
All right, hold up real quick. Hold on, y'all.
Damn, Taekwon, why you got to stop me?
Yo, we in a snowstorm. What are we doing? We in a blizzard. Is that better? Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Wow. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks, Ty. We love you, brother. All right, getting back to the hot facts. Man, MZK all day, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, no easy props. The mission always continues, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no easy props.
No easy props, the movement, the lifestyle, the activist.
Like
that's the activist element. You know, we've got our nonprofit. Shout outs to everybody down with the nonprofit. Frankie Flav, Irvin, Lily Breeze, Yaya, Stunts, Crumbs, a bunch of cats down with the nonprofit. Hope I didn't forget anybody. We're all doing good work in the community. You know, we're teaching the after school program, doing the B-Boy Summits, helping out with other events as well as being a nonprofit fiscal agent for Queens of Hip Hop. And we've worked with the Digs Deeper event too. So we just Just out there doing that nonprofit community work.
You've been doing it for a long time.
Yes, yes, man.
Mm.
It's been a minute. I mean, No Easy Props, I started that in 97. And
Mm.
you know, that was the whole idea of, you know, we got too many. At that point, it was like there was girls starting to get into breaking and hip hop in general. You know, more girls were coming up, and you know, they were getting kind of easy props. People were just blowing them up too quick, and we all know what happens, especially to women when we get when we get almost like too much love too soon. It messes with our head, and we kind of it overwhelms us really. We take it a little different than a guy does. So, and a lot of girls feel like, oh, I can't live up to this challenge, so I'm just gonna ghost, you know. So that movement was not just only for females, but it was really to lay down, reminding people that all the elements in hip hop are really not gender based. It's not gender, it's not class based, it's really about your skills. So really waiting until people have achieved a certain level with their skills to really like big them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like in this day and age, especially that's important because we live in this age of like super uber tolerance. Like everything is cool, everything is fine, everything is the truth, you know,
Yeah.
instead of like one truth, it's like your truth, my truth, you know, and a lot of that perpetuates people feeling like they can't really pull people's cards no more. They can't really, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people front now, and nobody even calls them out on it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
know, like when they post up these videos and stuff talking about stuff that they don't even know, and then nobody's disliking the video, nobody's commenting like saying, "Yo, that's not true," or you know, if anything, if people aren't down with something, they just be quiet. And I think that that's
Yeah.
really interesting. Like if like nobody wants to, you know, make enemies with anybody, but it shouldn't be that way. As far as if you post up something and I don't think it's true, and I'm like I'm not feeling that because I think it's like maybe, you know, idealized or not true. And if I say something, it doesn't mean that I don't like you. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I want to be your enemy. It just means that we have to keep truth and knowledge going. We can't live in a world where everybody likes everybody's stuff instead of like, I'll be honest, I got a lot of friends. I don't like all their pictures. I don't always like what they're talking about because I generally don't like it. But that doesn't mean I don't like them. I got close friends that post up stuff that I think is too explicit or too crazy, but I love them. They're my friends, they're my girls, whatever, family members, who knows. But I'm not gonna like their picture just for the sake of being like part of the movement. You know what I mean? It's important that we each have, you know, morals and values and ethics, and that we run with those. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about it. I mean, I think those of us, especially that aren't from the newer generation, it's important that we keep that tradition of live of you know, basically not faking jacks, not fronting gold caps, like seriously spitting the real, talking about the real. And if people aren't talking about the real, then either call them out on it or definitely don't like the comment just so you could be one of the many likes. You know what I'm saying? Why are you liking that comment? Why are you liking that picture when you know this is BS? You know, if
Yeah.
anything, you know, say something. Maybe say, "Yo, man, that's actually not true," or "That's not really the way that's not really real," or "Why don't you cover up a little bit?" Or, I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to shine. Everybody's. We live in an age where people feel the need to feel self gratification, and if they don't have it from a higher power source, they're gonna get it from a lower power source. You know, and I'm not knocking anybody for it, but I just feel like that really with hip hop, what we used to focus on more was the skills. We weren't tripping out if people was a girl or a boy or black or brown. And I like to always promote that because that's why I got into it. I got into it because I didn't feel like I had to be a certain color or a certain. I could just be myself, and hopefully through hip hop I could learn about who I really even am. You know, so
Yeah. And
yeah.
I feel like, touching base on that, like earlier when we were having that conversation with MZK with the guys, and they were saying, about calling everybody's themselves breakers now. And I think that's dope. Don't get me wrong, like to have that equality, but
Right.
I'm proud of being called the B girl because I was made to earn being called the B girl. For
Good point.
me, coming up in New York, you wasn't getting called a B girl unless you paid those dues. And if you
Right.
called yourself a B girl and you weren't paying those dues, people called you on it. And
I
you had
love
to,
that.
so it's like, so for me, it's like, nah, I like that title. I want to hold on to
Right.
that, even though, and for me, there's nothing demeaning or unequal about B girl. It's just different. That's
Well,
it.
you hit on two crucial things. One is that terminology is straight from New York, right? I mean, hip hop is from New York. The terminology is from New York. A lot of people forget that in the sort of like the late 80s, early 90s, there was a movement in the West Coast that was really trying to separate what LA hip hop was, right? What it really is, because like Ice-T said it best, like LA really didn't have hip hop like that. LA had gangs, so that this obviously the sound of the music is more gang related. Even the styles of dance, popping and all that, it was more gang related. How it was embraced, but we didn't have the same kind of hip hop as New York had. So it's like really, when I got over to LA, like to the West Coast in like 94, there was a serious like identity, people trying to have an identity, especially after Legs came out to the summit, and he was saying, b-boys, there's a look and a style and even a way the dance is done, and a lot of you dudes, you really ain't b-boying. Like, this isn't really b-boying, like, you and so even heads on the West Coast took that and analyzed it, and we're like, you're right, we're not b-boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're breakers, we're breakers, or we're break dancers even. But the term breaker was much more popular on the West Coast, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that term is a loose term, but it wasn't really a term to for all genders, like guys and girls. It was a term like, if you don't have that East Coast style, you're not a b-boy or a b-girl, like, or if you don't have that mentality, that hip-hop mentality, like if you just dance, then you're a breaker, and we took it to sort of, even on the West Coast, to be like, yo, I'm actually not a breaker, I'm a b-girl, because
Yeah.
I identify with the cultural hip-hop. I identify with it, and that's how I dance. My style is even the way it looks is because I identify with it. I think today, many people are not b girls or b boys. There's actually, it's still a relative minority. It's like, every time you have the root, everything that springs forth from it like grows like weeds, right? But the
Yeah.
real like plant itself is like the b-boy b-girl plant, right? And then all the plant, the big kind of weedy part of the plant that got bushy and grew out of control, that's the breakers.
That's real.
I'm saying it like it is. It truly is, because
Yeah.
really, if people are really b-boys or b-girls, they not only their dance would be different, but their mentality would be different. Because b-boy and b-girl, it was also like, we had to have knowledge, man. We had to have knowledge of hip hop. We had to have knowledge of, like, a life. We used to always get called out on our knowledge, like, not only just the history of hip hop, but like, that was back when, like, 5% Nation, Zulu Nation, these were organizations that were interested in uplifting their communities through knowledge. So it was important to be part of the conversation. I mean, even that term cipher that, we grabbed on, that term is a 5%er term, so it's
Word.
like, we don't
Yeah.
even know what we're doing half the time. We're like, yeah, we're breaking the cipher, whatever. But it's like, it goes deeper than that. So, I think a lot of us need to just keep promoting real hip hop, and give these young people a better understanding of it, so that they don't think that this whole breaker scene is like the end all be all, because I mean, everybody's like, yeah, going to these jams are important, you got to show up. And I agree. I mean, I think it is important to show up, but I also think it's important that we let these younger heads like pipe down a little bit and really control the circle and control the jams more, so they understand, yo, not anybody should just be up in this battle. Not anybody should be jumping out in the cipher. Like, you got to earn your place. You got to know your place, and you got to earn your spot. And so
Um,
we have to take a more aggressive approach and like pulling some of these people's cards. We just have to.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? We should be
we
scared
got
and no.
to approach.
Without
People
you,
letting you
I mean,
step in.
look, remember, Candy, you remember how it was like we used to get tossed up. Like, if you said the wrong thing, or if you weren't representing properly, like, people really not only dissed you, but like, you could get shaken down, you could get hit. I mean, really, I mean, I'm not saying take it to that level, but I really feel like that we're just okie dokie and like everything. We're just like, okay, great. This is like, let's keep this, everybody do what they want. Well,
Yeah,
everybody could do what they want, but we shouldn't be endorsing everything. There is one truth and there's one realness when it comes like a foundation to this dance. And we can't, it's like the Bible, they say you can't add to it or take away from it. Well, with this dance, you got everybody adding to it, but and taken from it, but it's like they don't even have the formula of the dance yet. They don't even
yeah,
have the understanding of the dance. They're so busy promoting their style.
yeah,
I was somebody recently, we were talking about that. It's like this whole trend. If you actually look at who's really popular right now, right, and you actually check out the way they're dancing, they're doing them, right? Like, they're doing them so much that the actual dance is not even highlighted anymore. It's like it's almost like an afterthought, and it's to me it's kind of trippy because everybody wants that now. I want to see everybody's originality and creativity, and like, I want to see I don't want to see like everybody doing the same dance. I'm almost like the opposite. I'm like, yo, I want to see people doing this dance. Like, I want to see the way the dance looks again. I miss that.
yeah,
I miss it, man. I truly miss it. Now I just everybody's so full of themselves that it's like you don't get a sense of the dance anymore. You just get like, oh, this dude's bugging out, chick's wiling out, but I'm not seeing like I'm not seeing what I feel like are the hallmarks of the dance. I just see a lot of other stuff. You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah. I,
But that's I get it. I mean, I get it. It's kind of a trend right now.
I just feel like people confuse getting it's like everybody wants everything fast now, right? So they want to get this position.
Yeah.
And before,
Yeah.
when a student used to ask you, yo, how do I become a top person? You used to say, well, you have to pay your dues. You're gonna have to lose a couple times.
Yeah.
But now nobody wants to, so they take like shortcuts. But the shortcuts are like crazy. Like, I don't like going in ciphers no more. I don't like it because there's no etiquette. Like, people cutting
Right.
you off, like their life depends on going out, and it's
Right.
like, you don't even like this song. Like, move. This is actually my jam. Like,
Right.
but there's no feel for the vibe. There's no,
Right.
But then you do have your moments where you get to see the people you haven't seen in a while, and you get those ciphers, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what it's about. So you really want to hold on to that and try and show
Yeah.
the youth that, but it's hard. It's
No, you're
hard.
right. And especially where you're at. I mean, I remember when I was in France, not too far away, I know you're not in France, but it's like, here I am in another country, right? A guest of this jams. I couldn't even get out in the cipher because these dudes were going in, and the same dude were going after every single person just because he was so full of himself. You know what I mean? You couldn't even get in there. You couldn't even get in there. Like, it wasn't even worth it. And I think we do need to check our egos. I mean, I think it's like, you know, the cipher used to be more about contributing, right? So it's like, if you could knock and join on to what somebody else just did, you just went out. You never went out over somebody that just you knew you couldn't add on to what they just did. It was kind of like an add-on thing, and And you also didn't stay out there for like hours. You know, you just you went in and you added to that piece and you kept it moving. And that's why it used to flow in such a manner that was a true cipher. Now it's like, you know, it's not really like that anymore. It's more like, let me get out there, and, you know, blow it up or do something when it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's it is about adding. I always know when to go out. I'm not gonna go out if I don't feel I can add to what was just been, you know, or that's not my piece of the song, or I'm not really feeling that song. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Yeah, you know when your song is your song. You know when that break hits, and that's my piece. I love that part, you know. But otherwise, I let everybody else live too. You know what I mean? And the same with battling. I mean, I think there's got to be a little bit of a battle etiquette too. Like, if you always go in places because you got to battle everybody, first off, you kind of got to look at that and be like, I remember when it was about, yo, I'm just gonna catch that person at that right moment. You know,
Yeah.
like that's why people used to hide behind the speaker boxes and stuff. Like they knew, you know, they're gonna just catch that person right when they needed to, and that was what it was gonna be. And it wasn't gonna have to last for, and it wasn't gonna kill the whole energy of the cipher. And you know, and now it's like people really want to make people try to look stupid or try to make themselves look better, so they just keep going and going and going. And when it's been done and when it's overdone, and then by then everybody's sort of like over it, you know. Like, I didn't come here just to watch you try to call everybody out, you know. That's not why I'm here. You know,
Yeah.
you got to be more strategic, find your place in your time, and say it, do it, put a freaking pin in it, and keep it moving. You know, it's just you know,
So how do
look at
like
Prevail.
yeah, Prevail's going crazy. And skill that earlier she was saying quality over quantity, and I agree. Like
Yeah,
there's a lot of quantity right now, and I feel like
right.
when you see the quality though, it's like, yo, you know, like it really catches you off guard. But my
Yeah.
thing is like for someone like you, like you've been doing this for a while now, you're still going to jams, you're still judging. Like, how do you feel like you need to see everybody to be able to judge, or do you feel like you just have enough of an understanding of the dance, like you don't have to go to every single jam to
You
pretty much?
know, if I get like, if it's something where where somebody's asking me to judge something, like I remember they wanted me to judge um Just to Boo one time, right? I didn't end up going, but I told them, look, if I'm gonna, or no, it wasn't judging that. It was a commentary. It was a commentary for Red Bull, and you know, it might start next year. I might do some commentary for them, and I said, look, you know, I only feel comfortable if I'm doing commentary. I'm gonna make sure I know who's up in this piece. You know what I'm saying? Because for commentary, you want it like look at sportscasters. You got to know who the players are, right, in order to engage. As far as a judge, no, I think you don't. You really don't need to know anything about any of the people. You don't even have to have seen them dance before, because I don't want to judge them based on what I think they're capable of or what I think they're going to do next round, or which is even worse when the judges like plot within each other and are like, okay, we're going to pick these people because we know this is going to be a better battle for the final and stuff. When it's like, are you serious? I thought we were judging on this right here, what's happening right here. I gotta just judge on this right now. I can't like, you know, fast forward in my mind to create the best final battle for the promoter of the event. Do you know what I mean? I think people are concerned about that. They're like, yo, it should just, it's how you roll the dice. Anything could happen, and you gotta just sort of run with it, you know, how it happened. So I don't think you need to know the person. I don't think you ever even had to see him dance before. If I go to South Africa or something, I'm not familiar with a lot of the cats out there in the scene, I'm still gonna be able to judge the battle, you know,
Mm, okay.
based
Yeah.
on my understanding of the dance. I think that you definitely need to have understand the dance. You can't have judges that aren't, you know, very fluid, have a very fluid understanding of this dance. You could have Wiggles judge a b-boy jam because Wiggles has a good understanding of the b-boy dance. You know what I mean? He's a b-boy himself.
Mm,
But I wouldn't get some celebrity judge to come just because they're like a celebrity judge, or they're an MC or a DJ or that. I don't think people like that should be judging any
yeah.
any kind of dance related jam. You know, it's kind of like you got to lane a little bit, you know?
So, how do you feel like about what's going on in the scene now with all the B girls? Like, I feel like there's a big like B girl stuff that I feel like you've been saying for a while too, is being said now. But I guess maybe because we're in the internet age, it's being Instagram tweeted about. People are talking about it. B boys are talking about it. How do you feel about everything that's going down right now?
Well, I think that there's several things that need to be understood. First of all, when the corporate industry started trying to like wrap their mind around what we were all doing, okay? I'm going to just lay out some plain facts, okay? The summit, we were the first event to get Red Bull involved, okay? It was I had a friend of a friend who was like, "Yo, I think you should invite this dude. I think he's going to like what you guys got going on." It was one of those things, right? And it started out pretty organic. Um it started out with some basic stuff. Yeah, branding the floor, gonna give you, a couple G's here and there for your event. But things, I think when things spiraled out of control for our movement is that we did not, even though there were precursors, early tours, like Mighty Four, like Out for Fame, the earliest events that were like going city to city and creating their own model of um, a national championship model, right? For that event. Once Red Bull kind of jumped on the scene, we sort of lost our identity of like understanding who is to be marketed, and like who's the one who's in the power, who has the power. Is it the commodity of what's being marketed, which is us and our dance? And if so, if we are the commodity, then we should have some power and control over what's being marketed, over how our corporations are using our dance and us to market and promote their products, right? Um, and that really didn't happen. So the what's happening now is people feel like the only two contenders really are Monster and Red Bull, as far as when it comes to breaking. Like, it's like that's pretty much. And if you're not, and our goal should be to be in something like that, as a dancer, and if we're not doing things related to work on that mission, then what we're doing isn't relevant. And I think that that's where people got to pump the brakes. And when it comes to B girls, realize that our movement is still really budding, right? Even though, Candy, you've been in the scene a long time. Um, our numbers have kind of like stayed pretty stagnant throughout the years, right? Um, and a lot of it is due to lack of visibility. And in order for us, really, what we started doing is doing more jams or things related to B girls, just to give ourselves more of a platform, to give ourselves more visibility. I am sure that the reason that Red Bull and Monster both have females now on their team is not because of B-boy events. It is because of B-girl events. It is because of contests for B-girls, straight up. Because if anybody's seen a B-girl battle, if anybody's gone to a B-girl event, it's different. The vibe is different, the contests are different, and the energy is really unique and interesting and exciting. And those people that work at those companies, they're not stupid. When they go see that different energy, it piques their interest. When they go see, wow, this is different. They not only dance different, they their whole vibe is different. The whole battle is different. So, you know, for people to say that, like with Gravity and his piece that he promoted on his YouTube channel, that what we're doing, first of all, isn't enough, that we're not representing enough, that we're not putting in enough work, that we're not paying enough dues. I'm just literally quoting everything I remember hearing, and that we need to go harder to be relevant. And it to me is just completely not. He didn't look at the real picture. He didn't think about things from our point of view. He didn't do any research, and he just went on camera and he just started talking stuff. Really, I mean, that's truly what you get when you listen to it, because it's not he pointed out like one girl, Maka, who is sponsored by Monster, you know, to give her some praise, which is good. But like I said, it's not everybody's agenda to do that or be that, right? It shouldn't be. It's not, it's such a small piece of the game. Like, doing that isn't going to keep our culture together. Doing that isn't necessarily going to contribute to the next B-boy or B-girl's growth and journey, right? That's just one piece. So to assume
it's a dope piece, but
it's a dope piece, but to assume that it's that's really all we should be striving for, and that's what every B-girl out there should be striving for, is, to me, it's not really looking at what people's individual interests are, what different movements are, and it's just putting us in a box, and that's really why that we even before of course, before his comment, before any of this sort of got being stated, we were already talking and thinking about ways of our movement. I mean, we're, again, and that's what differentiates men and women are different. Okay, we think different, we act different, and we have different roles in life and society. And no matter what you believe about gender equality and equity and anything, the reality is that men and women are different and will never be exactly the same. And you can't put us in the same box. So you can't expect the road for B-girls to be the same as B-boys. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't need to be. And we want to feel as a movement that we have some control over our movement. We don't want to feel that we're just some commodity that's going to be marketed, promoted to, pushed into a bubble, and that's how it's going to exist, right? And that's why at platforms like B-Girl City, we've had these talk-ins when we talk about this stuff. You don't get that at a regular B-boy jam. You're not going to get a panel, first of all, and you're definitely not going to be talking about stuff like the movement, right? And that's because women are just different. Our concerns are different, right? And that's good, right? So I have to say that to that we should feel empowered and inspired to create our own movement. And instead of being instead of being told that we're not doing enough, that what we're doing is irrelevant, that we haven't paid enough dues. Like, I'm sorry, Gravity, but I started one of the first events. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been involved in this game way too long to have to tolerate listening to you come out your mouth just so you can get controversy started or more likes on your channel, and what I'm disappointed in is that, yeah, I wasn't logged in when I watched it, but I'm disappointed that nobody put a thumbs down. I'm only 300 views and everybody's okay with what he's saying. You have to have like an opinion. It don't matter. Like, Gravity, I don't even know you well enough to like you or dislike you, dude. That's not my concern here. But my concern is that, like, when you're promoting an uneducated opinion to me on a social platform, I got concerns about that, bro, because I'm a culture worker. I'm out here trying to make sure this culture stays rooted and grounded, and that we can continue forth. But when I have to hear from a man, like, if it was a woman, it might have been a little different. But when I have to hear from a man what we're doing wrong, it's like, that's a little too much. We've already been down that road, man. It's like, I don't need to hear that from a man. I'm more interested in what women have to say about it. I'm more interested for women to feel empowered instead of feeling like, well, I can't really say anything because that's Gravity from Monster. And, I might, like, might never get a chance to be a monster, or maybe their crew won't, you know what I'm saying? So I think that instead of, if you really want to create conversation about it, you might want to do it in a little bit different way. That's you know what I mean? And state your facts. And I appreciate Wanda a lot, because she got, immediately incited by it, and she did something about it, which she went and she put knowledge about different B-girls and their contributions. And so, and it even refreshed my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, oh yep, yeah, and what? Because when you listen to it enough that you're not good enough, or your movement isn't doing enough, or y'all ain't paid enough dues, and y'all really need to step your game up, then you start believing it. You start being like, dang, maybe
Yeah.
he's right. Like, you know what I mean? You start doubting yourself. You started doubting, um, you know, and so I think that I appreciate that she did that, because, and then he actually went on to say that he didn't feel any B girls, no, because then he said, oh yeah, a lot of y'all would probably smoke me, and then he's like, oh, well, actually, that's not true at all. Like, you know, so, he probably gonna get stepped to by more than one B girl. So
Yeah.
hopefully, he'll be able to answer back. But I don't know, man. What do you think, Candy? I mean, what is your feeling about that? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I immediately was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Sorry,
Right.
excuse my French. But no, you know what? I've watched some of his other videos before, and there's stuff that he says that is like, I can tell he's trying to motivate something. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought maybe trying to do maybe motivate a conversation, and maybe he wasn't, I don't know. I just didn't, I feel like you aren't thinking if you're saying that we're not doing enough, because we've been doing it for a long time. And for me, it actually, like, I get mad, so I'm trying not to now. But
Right.
before I get mad, because when people would kind of like demean the B girl or their presence, I would be like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, we've been here. What else do we have to do? Like, I've
Yeah.
battled I've battled all your friends, and so has my
Right.
girl. But all of a sudden, like, for example, and that's one thing I do want to talk about with you is, like, you have a child, you leave the scene for a bit, and
Yeah.
it's like it just kind of disappears. And you're like, all of a sudden, trying to find where you were, and you're like, this doesn't erase what I was and what I've done. So now, why do I feel like I'm new on the scene and I'm proving everything again? Like, it kind of
Right.
feels like that. But I feel like when a B-boy goes and he has knee surgery or something and comes back, there's like this encouragement and this, like, yeah, he's back, he's gonna come smoke y'all. But when a B-girl gets pregnant, has a baby, does motherhood, comes back, there's not that, and I just feel like dudes don't get that, and that's why they say things like, you're not doing enough, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, actually, I'm doing a lot right now, you know. I'm building this hip-hop family while I'm building my own family,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
A lot of us are doing that, and even the ones that don't have kids are building families in our, like, hoods, you know.
Serious. Serious. Yeah.
So I'm like, I just, it really boggles my mind that anybody could make that statement. So my only thing to go to is, well, maybe he's trying to spark something.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right. Well, people are, saying, he's not the smartest dude. He's, I obviously not. Because if you're gonna come out and make those statements, you just I think again, but it kind of takes us to where we are in time, Lloyd, what you said. People forget about people way too quick. They forget about people way too quick. I mean, just because you look, the scene has changed a lot, and a lot of people grew up and grew out of breaking a little bit too. Let's just be honest. And like you said, for a woman, we got a certain amount of childbearing years, and when you have kids and stuff, things change. But I think a couple things. One is we need a lot more behind the scenes people working with this movement. We need a lot of people to not always be dancing and to be helping us with this movement, right? We need people that are lawyers, doctors now, educators, activists. We need people like that to help get this movement in a place that it could do more, that it could be more relevant. And if it does take a lot to maintain yourself in this dance. We know that too. We also know that, motivation and how we feel about, what's happening now in the scene versus my style and the way I dance, like it can mess with your head sometimes. You could be like, man, I don't feel relevant anymore. I don't feel really part of this anymore. I don't feel like, I don't feel like I can be part of what it is now. And so a lot of people step away. And I still don't think that should make us forget about people, I mean, look, people still talk about Migos all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thankful people are bringing his name back into the conversation. I just watched something somebody posted and they brought him out, either as a special guest or a judge. And that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that. Like, you don't have to, I don't think that you have to have people judging and doing this stuff that are currently even active in the scene. I think that somebody like that is, as long as they're able, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have the capability to judge or whatever, they'd still be relevant for your event. And I mean, you yourself, you've done a lot, yo. You've paid a ton of dues. You've been out there in the trenches. You were one of the B girls at a certain time that was really not only highly skilled, but you were, diplomatic in your approach and, really representing the real style. And I think that, so no matter what, no matter what you do with your dance now, later, never, it doesn't matter. You're still always going to be relevant because you're part of the history of this dance. And so, I just want to give you and other people that encouragement because, and I really appreciate B Girl City too for their platform of, it's a really unusual and different platform because it really shines light on people from certain eras and their contributions. Like AB Girl, like, she's somebody that just because you don't see her around that much anymore, I mean, she really, really, really put in a lot of work. And, there's other girls like that too, that put in a lot of work and, people wouldn't be where they are right now if it wasn't for them. So, again, our movement is a little different. What we're concerned with is a little bit different. And I think that what I like about B girls that I see is that, our style and the way we dance is different. That's why you can have two B girls win, a top rock battle at a major competition. Shout outs to Maka and Wanda for doing that. Because we have a different way that we get down. We have a different way we move. We bring something different to the battlefield and to the cipher, and that should be recognized and appreciated. Not that we have to measure up to the Red Bull All-Star team or because to be honest, them dudes can't even hold their own in a cipher half the time. Let's be honest. You know how you get in that? All you got to do is have like 3 good rounds. Because you only got to go like twice in each battle, and there's only going to be like 4 battles total, right?
It's talking about real cipher battles. The ones
I mean it. It's really true. You don't have to do too much. You just have to have, that certain pizzazz that looks right in that situation. So it's like, I mean, I feel like, we just got to remember, folks. And Beta too, she's somebody people forget about a lot.
Beta got B-boy biters. So.
How can you forget about Beta? Yeah, Beta was one of the first chicks to get dudes respect, where dudes were like, and I remember what she went through a lot on that journey. I mean, she had blue hair, she was gender neutral, like at a time when nobody else was doing that. you know, and people were like, oh, she's getting chubby, oh, she's did it. Like, you know, it's kind of different for guys. They don't kind of just crack on dudes like that. Oh, he looks a little chubby. Oh, duh, 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 duh. Girls
Yeah.
just like, oh, she's fat now. Oh, she's you know, this now. Oh, she's that now, you know, and it's like, or the one I always don't like is like, why are they always trying to dance like dudes? If I had $1 for every time
I
somebody said,
know.
like, okay, wait, let's break this dance down. Like, first of all, we all are born with a body type, right?
Yeah.
And we dance because our body type's like that. So there's those of us that are a little thinner, smaller, you know, less curvy. And so if I'm breaking, so you're trying to say that I'm trying to look like a dude when
Yeah.
this is just like my body, you know, and I think that we women, we just used to being picked apart. I mean, then there was that whole thing when, you know, Legs went online and he was like, yo, I wish somebody would tell these B girls, like, we don't need them to dress like dudes, you know, we don't, if they, and then he was like, if they're dressing like that because they think that we want them to dress like that, I'm just going on camera letting them know that, you know, we don't want them to dress like that. And I'm thinking, dang, man, now we can't even, you know, we can't even dress how we want to dress because we got you guys like breathing down our backs like that. We're trying to, you know,
Yep.
it's really hard. Hip
Everything.
hop was supposed to be about getting free. You know what I mean? Hip hop was seriously supposed to be about getting free. It wasn't about you picking apart like if I'm trying to dress like a dude or not. You know, like I don't know, man. You know,
I hear
there's
ya.
always going to be those girls that appeal more to guys because they look a way that guys like or they dance a way that guys feel comfortable with. And that's going to be a standard that women are always going to be measured by, unfortunately. And it's just up to us to keep breaking those standards and just saying we ain't, you know, that could be your opinion, bro, but I'm not concerned. You're not going to self-determine me. I have to self-determine myself, you know, and so.
Last question for you.
Yeah.
How would you say, like, it's different now? Because I always want to pick your brain about becoming a mom in the scene because I remember when you had Yasmin and you used to bring her to jams, people would like hold her for you. It was like a little like village, you know? And I
Yeah.
feel like I see that now when you go to local events, but not so much anymore like we used to see it at B-Boy Summit, freestyle
Yeah.
session, you know, kind of thing. So how do you feel like about being a B-girl mom then versus now?
Well, I want to thank everybody, and I feel like I always make a point to thank people for how well they treated my daughter in the scene and culture, and that they were truly a loving group of people. They were truly a healthy group of people to have around my kid. I mean, people helped me, and I want to do the same for other young or, you know, B-girl moms. Like, don't be afraid to bring your kid to the gym. Like, I know that it's hard because you want to represent. I'll hold your kid. Like, we'll hold your kids. We will help you with your kids. And I want to do that because I feel a little bit bad because I haven't really done that for other B-girls. I really haven't. I haven't like held their kids while they break. And you know, I remember lady would, you know, she came in and she would have Autumn in the stroller, and that was when she was smaller, so she just had her in the stroller. But you know, I saw what it was struggle was for her getting through the crowds with the stroller and everything else, and I appreciate that, you know, that she's bringing her, and I think that if you can, you should try to bring your kids because it's a healthy group of people to have your kids around. You know, it truly is. We're good folks, man. And you know, yeah, word up, strollers, they're expensive too. And you know, you got those ultra cool strollers and people roll through. But I'm down to help any girl. If you bring your kid to the gym, I'll help you hold your kid while you break. You know,
Yeah.
be the one all the time out there. You know, I love getting out there too, but I will help you. And I appreciate you bringing that up, Candy, because you know, it was, I mean, I remember doing Summit, like, you know, Yaz was only like 3 months old. You know, there wasn't really a way for me to have her not with me, you know, breastfeeding on demand and stuff. And, you
Yeah, you
know,
used to breastfeed her. You're
yeah,
gangster.
I had to, man. I mean, that's how I raised her, you know. It was easy like that. So, and I got a lot of help, man. Shout outs to Ground Zero, shout outs to Bebe, Exube, Boo Rock. Them dudes used to be like Yaz's first babysitters, you know. And they always helped me out, and yeah, so I know Lady just joined. She missed that last comment. I just want to say it again. You know, I seen you come to the jams with Autumn in the stroller, and you know, trying to fight through the crowds, and I really think that's brave of you and great that you bringing her in the stroller, and you know, skills you too. You know, was with all your kids. I mean, you got three, but you know, anything I could do to help you and your kids, and at the jams, like, you guys bring the kids and we'll take turns holding them or entertaining them, so you guys could break and get down. I don't ever want a B-girl mom to feel like she can't come to the jam because she don't got nobody to watch her kids, you know. That's where the hip hop was, you know, for this, and you know, we want to make sure you
That's
guys
what we
all
focus
have
on.
somebody. And Wanda too, I want you to bring, you know, you know, Mia to the jam, and we'll hold her, man, like straight up, yo, you know. We'll hold your guys as kids, man. We'll give them love, because that's kids turn out good like that. Like, Yas went through some rough patches. I mean, she was probably one of the first little kids in our set, you know, because
Yeah.
I was older, so I had kids first. And she's about to graduate high school, man. So, you know what I mean?
Nuts.
Like, literally, you know, we can be here for you guys, for your kids, and b-boys too. You know, bring your kids if you need us to help you. You know, call on your b-boy homies too, man. You know, call on your, you know, like, come on, man. We got to help each other with their kids. Bring your kids. It's all right. We got, you know, we got people like Candy doing Children of This Culture too, and you know,
Yeah,
provide
man. Shout outs to
platforms
Candy.
just for, yeah, big time, man. For, you know, like I said, B-girls, we do things different. You know, embrace us for our strengths. Don't knock us for, like, you know, what you perceive as our weakness. Embrace us for our strengths, and be thankful that we're around and that we want to be part of this. Yeah, man. You know, shout
Yes.
out to Taekwon. He's always promoting community first, and he knows that is what community is about, you know.
Yep.
Yep. Well, all of our kids will help, you know, just keep bringing them. We know that hip hop helps. We know it helps kids. You know, we got to raise our kids truly up in hip hop culture. It will help them. You know, it'll help them develop a sense of self esteem. It'll help them feel comfortable with people from different cultures, and we really we need that more than ever right now in the world. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Word. Thanks, sis. I love
Man,
you.
love you. Thank you for
That was
thank you for
dope,
having
yo.
me.
Thank you.
And I hope you have many more of these. These are great, man, and we'll tune in and just keep the party cracking. And I'll just say one more little promotion that we have our Yahoo group set up. So if you haven't yet, um, you can just shoot me a thing on Facebook, or you can just email to well, our Yahoo group. If you go on Yahoo groups, you can just type in B Girl Movement, and ours will pop up, and then you can just request to join. It's a non-moderated group, which means as long as you're approved to join, then you can send emails and receive emails from the group. So for instance, like, to promote this, I just send an email to every, you know, it just goes to all the members. Hey, we're doing this IG live on Candy B Young's IG. Here's the address. We'll be talking about these things. So the B Girl Movement group is really to promote B Girl happenings, whether they're talk-ins, classes, workshops, events.
I'm joining it.
Yeah, join it. And it's worldwide, and it's all just really about us creating our own community. And then, like, say you're a B girl and you're coming, you want to go somewhere, but maybe you don't have a place to stay. You can put that out there. Maybe another B girl will be like, okay, cool, you can stay with me. So it's really to promote sisterhood, and also to help us organize our own movement rather than have somebody else organize it for later on, and when it's too late, you know what I mean? So that's about it. But much love to you guys. Yep, that's the B Girl Movement at yahoogroups.com. Thank you for that, baby girl. And that, just shoot an email to that B Girl Movement at yahoogroups.com, and you know, you can be part of the group. So it's just, we are just saying it is really just for B-girls or B-girl event promoters or promoters of B-girls events or educators interested in what we do. Because there's a lot of educators that are interested in what B-girls are doing. So it's for them too. But that's it, man.
Always pushing it, Asia.
Man, that's what we got to do. We don't die in this. We got to just keep living, man. You know, keep representing, keep it alive. Don't ever feel like you ain't special, because we're all special in this, and we're supposed to just keep putting our skills out there. And there's years you're gonna look good, years you're not gonna look so good, but all that matters is representing, man. So just keep representing, Candy. You know, keep representing how you want to, how you feel, and you know that's all we could do, man. It helps us too. It helps us because this isn't about our ego. This isn't about our pride. It's just about, it's our culture, you know. There's going to be years when I'm stronger in it, and there's years when I'm not as strong in it. But, you know, at the end of the day, as long as I keep doing what I can, then that's all that's expected of me. You know, that's all expected of us, that, you know, we want people to stay in this, especially our people that are considered like older generation people in this. I mean, Candy, you're considered older generation person this, even though you're still mad young, because you started so young, you know. So, you know, what you say and what you think and what you feel is really important to our scene and our movement. So I appreciate you wanting to have this discussion, and even like, you know, hitting me up, you know, with this idea. That's a great idea. Nobody's hit me up to do something like this ever. So I appreciate you, Ma.
I want the girls to be heard, like, but
yes.
the real talk, you know, like, just run with it like you did. And I want to, you know, shout out the girls and their contributions, and so people can hear it, because apparently they ain't hearing it. So, you
apparently
know, there's so much going on.
We have to let it be known, because there's a lot of contributions, and they're all over the world right now, you know?
Yeah, all over. Now, just to, you know, to finish it off, I want to give some shout outs about those contributions. So
let's
shout out to Girl City. Shout them out as you know them, Asia. Shout out to Big Girl City.
Shout outs to Cypher Addicts coming up in
Cypher Addicts.
Everybody check that out. The battles are going to be dope. I'm probably going to make my way out there too. It looks too good to miss. So, you know, shout outs to you know, shout outs to San Diego B-Girl Sessions and their event coming up in January too. They're Bonnie and Clyde, you know, that's going to be another dope event to go to. You know, shout out to B-Girl City every year. You know, that's going to be super sick. You know, shout outs to some of the international B-Girls, and you know,
her Just for Rockers always kills it.
Just for Rockers, Hurricane, man. Shout outs to the ladies of hip hop, Queens of Hip Hop over here in Colorado. Major shout out. Definitely check that event out. 10th anniversary this August 4th and 5th. So it's going to be amazing. You know, 10 years of events. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
it's some good stuff.
Y'all better support.
Yeah. Shout out to Goody Rock doing her Queen Bee.
Yeah, my love for Goody
Queen
Rock.
Bee girl in NYC. Big things. So shout outs to Temple Rock too. You know, Natty Light pushing, been doing Temple Rock for years, and you know, putting a lot of work and making that a super professional event. You know what I'm saying? And of course, shout out, yes, indeed, to the B-Girl BC1 battles too. You know, and everybody doing those things. Shout out, how about some shout outs to some B-Girls too? You know, shout them out, call them out as you see them.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Rockefeller. Don't forget about Rockefeller. That's right.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Asia right here.
Asiatic